Doing today is something called a Soda Lab demo. We will start off with Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. See, they're completely closed. They're full, I feel.
Yes.
Any
I want
tricks?
to be able to make.
They're brand new cans.
I want to make sure that they're brand new cans.
They're brand new.
It says Coke or
Now.
Diet Coke.
The purpose. You always have to have a purpose for doing something, otherwise why are you doing it? We need to have a meaning. Right? We need to have a meaning. So our meaning, our purpose, what you will do, we're going to test and see which will float in water. Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. So that's what we're trying to figure out. That's the reason why we're going to be doing this today, is to see which will float in water, Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. But before we do that, I want you to do something called a pair share. How many people have heard of a pair share? Well, what's a pair? It's not P-E-A-R, but P-A-I-R. It's two. And sharing, so from the question, you're going to talk quietly with the person next to you.
Hello.
And if there's only three, you can talk with three. But which questions would you need to ask in order to answer the question above? So which questions would you need to ask, right, about this experiment with the fish tank, the water, Pepsi, and Diet Pepsi, in order to answer the question which will float in water, Pepsi or Diet Pepsi? So I'll give you 1 minute. Go ahead and discuss this with the person next to you. Go.
Diet Pepsi just not sugar or doesn't have caffeine?
Yeah,
It doesn't have
that's what I was caffeine.
all diet.
Anything.
Most diets have caffeine.
And like,
They have like 0 calories,
yeah.
0 sugar, 0 all that stuff. So maybe that would be but then again, there's the mass. Just because it's light because it has less mass.
Yeah.
Container with no sugar and none of that.
Yeah.
But then
I think I was
but then again, you still have the can to think.
No. So, I'm not going to open it and then pour it in. I'm just going to hold these cans directly at the bottom. I'll let go and see which one comes up and which one stays down. So I'm not going to open them and pour them in there. And they'll just all mix around with water. So I'm going to hold it, unopened can, completely submerged, and then let go.
I think maybe both will float.
Alright. Perfect timing.
Probably both
Who would like to share what they and their partners talked about? Robbie.
Well, we said the Diet Coke might float because it has a lot less sugar in it.
No, so which questions would you need to ask, though?
Oh,
So turn that into a question. What questions would you need to ask in order to answer the question? Caleb?
will the Diet Pepsi
Will the Diet Pepsi float because it has less sugar in it? Okay.
because I've seen it happen.
Timber? Which soda is lighter? So maybe they weigh the same, maybe they don't. So Timber said we might need to know which soda is lighter in order to figure out which one will float. Adam?
This is thicker.
What do you mean by thicker? They're the same size.
I think like sugar.
Oh, the liquids. Which one is a thicker liquid? So we haven't learned that term yet because we just started the school year, but viscous. How many people have heard that word viscous before? So if something is more viscous, like syrup, it's really thick. Versus water, right? It's not very viscous. It's very fluid and fast, right? So viscosity, viscous. So you might need to ask which one is thicker inside the can. Okay, which one's more viscous? All right, good. True? Which can is more carbonated? Good question. That might help us solve it. Nate?
Did you shake one of the cans up?
Did I shake one of the cans up? What would that help solve?
Because it would become more carbonated and like the bubbles would come up more.
So maybe if I shook it, that made it all carbonation, maybe made it help it float? Is that what you're getting at? H, do you have a question? What's the material of the can? No? As far as I know, they're aluminum. Came out of a soda machine, vending machine, so they're not anything secret. Any other questions that might help you answer that question? No? Veronica?
Will like the less caffeine, like the less sugar and stuff in the Diet Coke make it float more?
Will less sugar in the Diet Coke or the Diet Pepsi help it to float more?
It's just Coke.
Is there less sugar? Maybe that could be another question too. Is there less sugar in the Diet Pepsi or the Pepsi? Any other questions? All right.